Me llamo Leonard. Encantado de conocerte, Gwen.
¿Qué haces aquí?
He venido a hacerme amigo tuyo y de tus padres. Pero estoy muy triste.
¿Triste? ¿Por qué?
Por lo que tengo que hacer hoy.
I mean, it's always about protecting them. That inability to protect them that weighs on me all the time. Everything worries me about how to protect them. I get as a normal parent, you can start to obsess in a bad way. Like my mom, if she's still now my mom, she worries about me. So it's like if she's like, are you okay? Are they in Spain? Is someone watching over you, making sure you're eating? And this is what she's asking me, now that I'm here in Spain. I'm like, Mom, yeah, so they're feeding me. It's going to be okay. I was like, Mom, there's too much food here. You should be worried about the other thing, Mom. So you're always there. She's sitting at 83 years old, sitting there in the house, wondering if you guys are feeding me. That's, so we're always worried about our kids and our family. And, feel very lucky, I guess, in this scary way of like, wow, today, I'm feeling very lucky that my family, you don't even want to say it out loud because you're scared something bad's going to happen, And so you're like, I'm just very lucky, everything. And so the movies are dealing with that fear and that someone may knock on your door one day and then your life is never the same. It did. That's such a great question, right? If that book had come earlier or later, I may not have connected with it the way I did or felt that it was the right thing to do. And so it did come to me just at the right time when I was feeling ready to tell that story and feeling very connected to that particular story of a family. And so that's like, I take those things very seriously. Like, when I read a particular book or when I see a movie or I see a painting or I go to a museum and see a painting and it hits me in a specific way at that moment. I'm always in my head trying to come up with ideas that are just powerful emotional premises, right? And that you instantly understand the power of it, and then you can't wait to see what the end of the story is, that compulsion, I joke about it and I say, in America we have these things called toll booths where you're driving on the highway and you have to pay money to keep going on the highway, but there's a person there. And sometimes if I pull up to that, they'll go, oh my God, I love your movies. What's your next movie? And when I say the thing really quickly to them, and I say, oh, it's a family that's on vacation, and 4 people break in and tell them they've had visions of the end of the world, and it won't stop unless one of the family members kills each other. And then the guy's face goes, and then I go, thank you, bye. And so that I know he or she, that person in that toll booth, will go, I have to know how that story ends. So that's why when I heard that's the premise of the book, I was like, oh, the toll booth guy's gonna love this. That's just how I think it's most effective. A lot of my movies get rated R ratings first, and then I have to kind of bring them back a little bit. But in this movie, the violence is part of the plot. It's part of the plot. So there was never a scenario where I could soften it to the point that it was not going to get an R rating. So even though it's an R rating, I still want it to be elegant and more in your mind than anything else. Sometimes, when I'm writing a story, I don't think about it at all, and then when I'm done writing it, I'm like, oh no, there's no place for me to do anything, and I get upset. And sometimes there's a character will emerge, and I'll say, ooh, that feels like a fun character. This one was for the audience. I'm not going to say what if I'm in it at all, but there was an idea I had that I thought was funny, and so it was actually the first thing that we shot. So I was like, if it doesn't end up in the movie, it's fine. And then it ended up being in the movie. Yeah, I mean, there's just an authenticity, a sitting into the emotions of that life that you can pretend it for sure, but isn't it beautiful when it's just natural and coming off the two of them that way? And so it felt beautiful to see what those two actors did, Jonathan and Ben. It was I was so deeply connected to their love story as we were shooting it, and I think you can feel that. And I think it's because they were both, gay men that have had love, that way, and so it was so natural. And they were very close to each other, and that became like a real thing that we were recording when we turned on the film camera. Yeah, that's such a great way to ask the question. I think if we face our cynicism and face our fears first, that's the first thing we have to get over. To love someone, we have to get over all of our fears of this person. Are they going to fail me? Are they going to is this the right thing? You have to get past all of that and get to kind of an irrational light. And so I do probably think it goes dark light, not light dark. And so you have to kind of go the journey that way. So it probably mimics our internal emotional journeys that biologically that's the order that we go in, is dark light. And so maybe you have to go through genre first to get to the other side.